So tell us your favorite things about David.
That's a really hard question for us. We never got to meet David outside of the womb. We found out that his heart stopped beating at 37 weeks, and so he was actually stillborn. So that's a really hard question for us, never having seen his eyes or seen him smile, or really didn't feel like we got to meet him in the traditional sense. So for me, I think I have a few more memories. He was there, he was moving, I got to feel him. I think for our other children and him, it kind of is a little bit hard to answer that question. Able Speaks hopped on board. I mean, in a matter of minutes, they were calling the hospital, they were helping us get organized. They provided everything that we needed for David when we didn't even know we needed it. Mm-hmm. Almost everything we have that's tangible, a picture of him, some precious keepsakes that mean everything to us, most of that was all through Able Speaks. We were so unprepared that day. We thought we were gonna have time with him outside of the womb. And so when that time was stripped away from us, Able Speaks just stepped in and truly met needs we did not know we had.
You're part of a club that nobody wants to be a part of, but there's just that instant connection where you don't think about it being on the other side of it. But when we lost David, there was two other families that we knew, outside of Able Speaks families that had lost their children as well, and just that instant bond and connection. You don't have to say any words, and you just understand, and you know that person, that couple understands what you're going through and understands your hurt and pain. At the same time.
I think that season of grief and suffering there's really no words for it. So when you're surrounded by other people who have experienced it, and you don't have to talk about it, you can if you want, you don't have to, it creates this open space that you can be so much more comfortable, you can be so much more vulnerable. I feel like sometimes now when I meet new people, I always feel very more reserved, and I always feel like they don't know me anymore. I'm not who I was before David died. There's a before and there's a distinct after. And so now when I go to meet new people, I feel like it's very hard because I don't want to overshare, but it's a huge part of me. I've changed so much through his death, and so to be around other families who know that pain, know what it's like to have a piece of you missing all the time, know what it's like to be joyful and sorrowful in the same exact moment, means so much to me. It means more than I can express.
It's interesting though, because we were on the other side of it before we lost David, and had friends who had lost a child, and we were those awkward friends who didn't know what to say and didn't know how to support them, and so we didn't. And so I think that allows us to give people that much more grace, because we were those friends who didn't know what to do. But it just makes us so much more grateful for those who are able to understand and come together and just love on us in our joy and sorrow.
Yeah, and even with Able Speaks, I feel like they've given us so many resources to help the next family in need. Whether they're directly, connected to Able Speaks or not, they've provided so much for us to help kind of pay it forward with supporting future families.
It's something that Able Speaks really pushes and encourages with families, is to just enjoy every moment, take advantage of every second, every minute, every hour. Life is precious, and you should take advantage and enjoy it while you have it.
Yeah. I think for me, I would just tell myself that I can do more than I thought I could. I can endure the suffering and I can look to God. I can endure the suffering and I can have joy. And that ultimately I'm stronger than I thought I was. And it's very interesting how I can see sometimes God's good and his purposes, no matter how deep the pain is. I can almost see the beauty coming forth of the ashes of David's death, and who I am and who our family is and the people we've connected with and the impact David's life has had. And I think if I could just tell myself that, I could just say his life is meaningful, it will have purpose, and it will all be worth it.